there's on one store in 365 days, I did over $7 million. I mean, I've had $1 million months, $1 million weeks.
Hey everyone, it's Sean again from 𝐸𝐤𝐝. In today's video, we get to interview an 8-figure dropshipper, 𝐸𝐤𝐝, who's also a YouTuber. So you can check out his channel over here. I'll show you a screenshot. And in today's video, we're going to be able to pick his brain and get insights from him on how to succeed in dropshipping. Thanks, 𝐸𝐤𝐝, for accepting the interview.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you for having me on.
Great. So first, can you give me a bit of background on your e-commerce journey?
Yeah, so ecom, as long as I can remember, honestly. As soon as I was 13 years old, I was buying, selling things on eBay. My old side hustle was, that I used to do in middle school, high school, was I'd buy Jordans. I was a big sneakerhead and I would restore them and then sell them for more. So I've always been in the e-commerce game, and I started Shopify dropshipping in 2017. So it's been a while. That was about 6 years ago, and I was 16 years old, and it's crazy to see how far, if you stick to something and you fully believe in it, how far you can come.
Great, great. And how did you exactly get started with dropshipping? What inspired you?
So yeah, when it comes to drop shipping, I just kind of the same deal. You see these people online that are making these absurd amounts of monies in record time or whatever, and it intrigued me because I said, well, if they can do it, then I can do it. So I think that's what got me into drop shipping itself. So definitely like info, free YouTube videos, right? I didn't pay at all, anything. I was always on YouTube, just soaking up all the info I possibly could.
Oh, great, great. And what were your biggest successes in your journey, and what were your biggest setbacks?
I think as far as successes, I mean, I have a house in Hollywood Hills, I have a Lamborghini, I have a G-Wagon. It's all cool. The materials are cool. Biggest months, biggest years. I mean, I've done, let me see. Yeah, there's on one store in 365 days, I did over $7 million. I mean, I've had $1 million months, $1 million weeks. I think there's a lot that comes with that. Scaling too fast can hurt your business dramatically. Tons of issues can arise that you've never even thought of. And now I like to keep it more gradual, doing $100,000 to $200,000 a week in sales, guys. I know the numbers sound crazy, but I make about 20% of that in profit. So it's not all profit. A lot of people say these numbers are insane. You're not making that much. And you got to realize when you see these sales, it is the gross number of the business. It's not the net. But I think my biggest success is after achieving all that is the confidence in my mind now that I can go into anything I want to and execute.
And when did you become profitable in your dropshipping journey? Because I'm sure it wasn't a straight line. You surely, lost money along
Mhm.
the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, I became profitable. I had my first $100,000 month towards the end of 2018. So it's been a minute since that. But I remember back then, right now I'm fully on TikTok ads. But back then I was just using Facebook ads. And I said to myself, with this ad platform, whether what business it is, if I can just learn how to use this ad platform properly, I can make any amount of money that I'd like. So I basically took everything, everything I had, and I would spend it on ads. And I got a job, and I just kept spending it on ads until that one day where it just clicked. I was profitable. The next day, it stayed profitable. I let my pixel optimize on Facebook and scaled gradually. I did $100,000 months for 3 months straight. This is when I was 17 years old.
And do you ever transition from dropshipping to buying products in bulk? Because that's something we advocate at 𝐸𝐤𝐝, and we're just wondering whether that's something you
hmm
also advocate.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, buying a product in bulk is great. What comes the first out of it is how fast it gets to your customer. Right, you're shipping it typically from the U.S. or whatever country you're in. It is huge. Like people will love you if you can, and if you get your funds. And everybody should do this after their first time scaling or getting that hit winner. I think once you get past a certain point, let's say like 20,000 a month, I think just getting a box, maybe 50, 100, something to get your foot in the door. It's not as scary as you think. Am I going to be able to sell these? It's really easy. So I definitely advocate for buying in bulk.
Yeah, that's something we totally agree with, 𝐸𝐤𝐝. As a matter of fact, in 𝐸𝐤𝐿, what we recommend is for dropshippers to transition from dropshipping to wholesale, and that's something that we allow dropshippers to do with our products, starting with the Sale Who Dropship app that you can integrate to your Shopify store. And with the Sale Who Dropship app, you can find dropship suppliers that are pre-vetted by the Sale Who team, so you can make sure that you find reliable dropship suppliers from all over the world and have those products sent over to your customers without you having to touch the product ever. And then when you're ready to scale, you can go ahead and use the Sale Who directory to find wholesale suppliers so that you can buy in bulk. And the good thing about the Sale Who directory is that we have 8,000 plus pre-vetted suppliers and wholesalers from all over the world, so you can find your local suppliers and get fast shipping times.
Yeah. So sales who, what I love most is there's not many things that actually will help push you from transitioning to, just getting those first few sales to actually buying in bulk and scaling hard. And I love that sales who is helping you step out of that beginning phase and into that next phase to where you can really start scaling and getting some crazy numbers. I think that's one of the most important part of people's businesses that they always forget about dropshipping, and you will have a complete edge over all of your competitors using sales who as a back end.
You did talk about, when you scale, there are a lot of problems with scaling. Could you walk us through those challenges that a beginner could expect when getting into dropshipping? I'm sure there are a lot of issues like logistics and all.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of issues. As far as, your fulfillment needs to be on point. You can't be using AliExpress fulfillment. You need to be using some type of supplier or private agent if you're going to want to make it anywhere, because otherwise your payment processing is going to blow up, your chargebacks, your customer service is going to be bizarre, and you don't want to deal with that. So I think that's logistics is the number one thing I've seen take people's dropshipping experience to like a complete 180. Focus on that. When you first start, you definitely want to, try all the apps. I would say a lot of people, when they launch, they don't launch, they kind of like half effort the launch. I would think setting up all the apps, the funnels, the back end, the SMS retargeting, all the flows, upsells, whatever it is. I think having that mindset and going into every time you launch ads as if it's a winner, as if it's the one, versus saying, oh, well, if it performs with these apps or without these apps, then I'll just add on the apps and help it do even better. If I didn't have a lot of the flows and back end stuff that I had, I wouldn't even be profitable, or be profitable enough to scale aggressively. So I think the number two most important things is your SMS, because if you're selling on TikTok, they're mainly everybody's on their phone. Email is great as well. Don't get me wrong. Great for Facebook ads, Google ads, Pinterest, everything else. I think the demographic on TikTok is just a bit different. And then, of course, the post-purchase upsells, in my opinion, or any upsell, I think is super important. So I think getting all the apps, the softwares that you possibly can get your hands on is essential.
How did you scale your store? So once you found your winning product, how do you go about with scaling your store?
Everybody's first time, the first time you scale, it's mainly just, just increase the ad spend, keep increasing the ad spend, getting more sales. That's really all it is. And then it will blow up. It blows up in mostly everybody's face that I know. And nothing crazy, but just headaches and issues and problems. So like now I prepare stores. I do it all as if it's an actual business. You gotta treat dropshipping like it's an actual business. If you don't, you're gonna stay stuck, and that's just working backwards. And I get all the LLCs, everything ready to go. My payment processing set up. I get my supplier ready to go. They know exactly like how I'm gonna scale it, the type of orders that they're gonna need to be able to keep up with. I have a product research team working at all times. I have customer service 24 or 9 to 5 weekdays, and for phone support, and then 24/7 email support. Once you've crash and burn enough, you just can fine tune it so much to have these huge runs where you're scaling, like I said, $1 million a month. It's not that difficult once you have this backbone and everything in place. I think once you have success in dropshipping, it's really easy to replicate the success. It's more so exactly like scaling it properly, holding that scale, and making sure nothing blows up in your face too quick. So that's kind of how I would go about it.
Let's talk about like what a winning product looks like. Could you let us know what type of products you sold, or at least the category, if you're not willing to share that information?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to winning products, I mean, look at it like this. Everything in some way, some form can be a winning product. This monitor, this computer screen, this microphone, somebody can sell it and make money. So I never really looked at it as if it's just a single golden nugget product. And I mean, it's really easy when you're starting out to do general products that have a broad appeal to everybody. Um, but I think it's more so constructing a winning offer. So it's having, the ad strategy dialed on. I would like to say, and this goes for dropshipping as a whole. Sorry to tangent off from your question, but I would like to say, as dropshipping, it's like an orchestra. And if one instrument isn't playing correct, it ruins the whole song. So having everything working and working together, your ad strategies, your creatives, reverse engineering the ad platforms, your upsells, like I said, and then having an unbeatable offer. A lot of people, my first offer that ever worked was free plus shipping. This was, again, this is so long ago. This is 7 or 6 years ago, and it worked. So I stuck with it, and now I kind of do more so like buy one get ones, or buy two get two is a crazy one, and then you can go up the ranks. So I do base it on offer, but obviously you can't. There are products that you can without anything just run ads to, and they'll go crazy if you get lucky.
But if an aspiring dropshipper is looking for a product to sell, what would be like the product criteria that you would, tell him that, these are the list of things that he should look out for when looking for a product to sell?
If you're brand new, you probably are going to want to target the most like general, broad, mass appeal products. That's going to give you your best shot. I think selling something like, for example, a camera, anybody between 18 to 55, and I'm talking about like the retro cameras. I mean, they're trending on TikTok right now. Those kind of like snapshot cameras. I mean, anyone from 18 to 55 can use it. Appeals to the angle of making memories. And then also something that solves a problem, I think, is huge. And you probably hear it so many times, but that is right. I mean, people are never going to stop having these problems. And if you can provide a solution to an everyday problem, I mean, there you go. So I think those two things, general, broad appeal, solving a problem. You can even go niche. I mean, there's just so many ways that you can go. I think the best advice would just to be, don't overthink it, build everything out, and just get going. A lot of people think about some things for too long, and they don't actually get to making the sales.
Let's say you found your winning product and you have an idea of how to scale. What would you say are the most useful things in marketing that a dropshipper needs to take note of?
Yeah, I mean, marketing wise, I really think it is that offer. I know it's because I can have the same back end, rinse and repeat, my price and the shipping price, and I can put it on tons of different products, and it'll typically work. So I think marketing wise, sell lower ticket. I think it's going to be huge for a lot of you guys. So lower ticket's a lot easier. You're not messing around with large amounts of money all the time. Everything's very low. You get tons of data, tons of people going into your checkout, clicking, going through your funnels, things like that, and you will definitely see a lot of success. I believe, low ticket, low scale, $50 a day is no more than that ad spent on TikTok or Facebook, and yeah, I think that's the most important part of the marketing is definitely your offer.
So that's the end of the interview, Stolja. I know that our viewers would really find this very helpful and valuable. And I just want to thank you again
Mhm.
for hopping on this interview.